Learning English through stories helps you absorb new words and grammar without even trying. While you're enjoying the story, your brain is working in the background, picking up sentence patterns, useful expressions, and natural rhythm. If you're enjoying this method, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. We post a new English story every day, fun, simple, and made just for learners like you. The rain had already started when Amir stepped outside. The sky over Tokyo was silver and low, and the buildings wore a soft mist like a quiet coat. People moved through the city like shadows, each one holding an umbrella. The streets shined with reflections, lights, signs, and shapes sliding across wet pavement. Amir didn't have a destination. He didn't want one. He was in the city for a short visit, and this day was meant to be quiet. A day to feel the rhythm of the rain. A day to listen. He opened his umbrella and stepped into the street. At first, all he noticed was the cold. The drops touched his arms, his face, and the tips of his shoes. But soon, another sound became clear. The gentle tap-tap-tap of rain hitting the top of his umbrella. It was soft but steady. A rhythm without a beat. It reminded him of soft drums in a distant song. He turned left, then right, walking without any plan. He passed small cafes with warm lights in the windows. The scent of noodles drifted through the air, but he wasn't hungry. He was listening. Each umbrella made a slightly different sound. The older ones had a dry, papery rustle. The newer ones gave a clean, smooth beat. Children's umbrellas made little clicks as the rain hit plastic designs of frogs and clouds. Some people walked alone, and their umbrellas spoke in quiet whispers. Others moved in groups, and the sound of raindrops danced between them. The city itself added to the music. Cars made long, soft waves as they moved through puddles. Bicycles passed with a splash and a bell. Somewhere near, a shop door opened with a small chime and closed with a gentle thud. Amir kept walking. The rain stayed with him. It fell gently, not too strong, not too light. He crossed a narrow bridge and paused. Below, a canal reflected the gray sky. A koi fish moved just under the surface, slow and careful. The sound of the rain on the water was different. Softer. Deeper. He didn't speak. No one did. The whole city seemed to be holding a quiet conversation with the weather. He passed a group of students waiting for a train. Their umbrellas stood like a field of mushrooms, and the rain danced across them. One student looked up and smiled at the sky. Amir smiled too. He turned into a smaller street. The buildings here were older, their walls dark from the rain. Vines climbed some of the fences, and a cat sat under a small awning, watching the world pass. Amir nodded to it and walked on. The cat blinked once and stayed where it was. At a tiny corner store, he paused. The shopkeeper inside was arranging oranges in a basket. The sound of the rain on the plastic roof above was louder here, like popcorn popping slowly. Amir stepped under the roof and listened. It was beautiful. After a few minutes, he moved on again. He wasn't tired. He wasn't cold. He was simply present. The world around him was calm. The city was alive, but not loud. Every step brought a new sound, a new detail. The way the rain bounced off the hood of a parked car. The drops sliding down a window. The smell of wet stone and green leaves. He walked into a small park. No one else was there. The trees above made soft patterns with their branches. The rain touched the leaves with a quiet tick-tick-tick, like tiny hands tapping gently. A crow flew overhead and landed on a branch. It shook the water off its wings and called out once, sharp and quick. Amir sat on a bench under a tree and closed his eyes. He let the sounds surround him. No music, no noise, no words. Just rain on umbrellas, on rooftops, on leaves. A peaceful concert made only for those who slowed down enough to listen. Time didn't matter. He stayed in the park until the light changed. The clouds grew a little thinner. The city lights began to glow softly, like lanterns behind glass. The rain continued, but now it was lighter, more like a whisper than a voice. He stood up and walked back toward his hotel. The streets were different now, busier, brighter, but still, the sound of the rain stayed with him. He passed a woman holding her umbrella sideways against the wind. He passed a man helping an elderly neighbor across a puddle. The world was still gentle. At the hotel door, Amir stopped. He looked back once at the city behind him. He would remember this day, not because of anything big or dramatic, but because of how it felt to follow the sound of rain on umbrellas through the streets of Tokyo. You just learned natural English through a peaceful and emotional story. Without realizing it, you picked up sentence structures, word order, and useful vocabulary, all while enjoying the journey. That's the power of storytelling. Come back tomorrow for a new English story. Every day we bring you something different. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Now it's your turn. Tell us in the comments. What sound do you love most when it rains? Let's start a conversation.